the cover of the sports section of the Daily News today, two guys are going to be inducted into the Flyers Hall of Fame, and we have one of them here with us this morning. It's Eric Lindros. How new?
Good, excellent, thank you.
Welcome back, man.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Good to see you again. So, when did they tell you this was going to happen? Did you know?
We got a phone call from Paul Holmgren in September, and we started talking about things, and we figured, you know what, Johnny and I, we should do it together.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a fun night tonight.
That's terrific.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it really is. Rennie's coming in too.
I was going to ask, what's his participation in this?
Well, he was in Newark last I heard. But we're gonna have some ex-teammates around and just get out and see some people.
When's the last time the Legion of Doom were all in the same room at the same time?
We got to see each other at the alumni golf tournament.
It was 2 years ago, right?
A year and a half ago.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah, or less than a year and a half.
I didn't play that yet.
Yeah, that was the one where I won the closest to the pin competition.
Really?
Yeah, I beat Eric Lindros.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet you couldn't believe that Eric Lindros was at the same golf outing that you were at, right?
It was actually the first time I had seen him after that fateful interview.
Oh, my God.
Well, do we get it out of the way now?
Oh, wow.
Let's just get it out of the way.
Get it out, Steve. You got it.
All right.
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
It still cracks me up.
I apologize to Eric because we're kind of around the same age, so I don't know what it was, but I sort of fell in love with you a little bit in a totally gay way.
That was edited, by the way. He said a totally not gay way, but anyway. All right, so it was a couple of years ago that you guys were all together. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the three of you had a special bond. Obviously, you played on the same line together, and you were very successful as that. And I would imagine as a lot of professional athletes,
equally successful. I mean, it took all three to get the stuff done, to get anything accomplished. It wasn't just one guy or two guys. It was all three.
Yeah, and you know what I mean. As far as staying in touch goes, though, I mean, a lot of people in that are professional athletes, they also have that buddy on the team or that partner on the team that they played so well together with, and that's a bond that doesn't come along very often.
No, it's infrequent, and it's certainly cherished and treasured. That's for sure. Yeah.
And Renberg was not. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Preston.
I was just going to say Matt Cord is here too.
Yeah.
So,
Hey.
if you ever want to jump in with something, go right ahead. Nick, sorry.
Hey,
Eric.
Well, you guys have known each other since you were playing here, Eric. It's cool. And Matt
was kind enough to pick Brett Hardy. He's down here over the corner. He's supposed to be in school, but we're not going to tell anybody.
A 9-year-old guest.
Yeah.
You were kind of upset because Renberg was not able to play in the Winter Classic alumni game a few years ago, and so now he's going to be there tonight. So it's a nice reunion for you guys.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, no, the outdoor game was a lot of fun too. That was terrific. That was a big weekend. Do
you think that Bernie stopped that shot because Ron Duguay shot it at his pads?
You know what? We were talking about that the other day, and what a nice gesture by Ron to do that. And Bernie probably will say that he would have stopped anything, and he might have. You never know with Bernie. He's got super powers. But that was a really nice gesture by Ron at the start of that game.
I was there. It was cool to hear the fan reaction for Bernie when he came out. I mean, people love that guy, and they have since he was the starting goalie for the team.
He's a stud.
He is.
You think of studs. Bernie Proman is.
And he just never stops.
I know.
Never stops.
I know you're humble about all of it, but I was really happy to hear the reaction that you got as well too, and things obviously didn't end the way that we wanted them to end in Philadelphia. But when you came back for the Alumni Classic, the reaction that you got against a team that you had also played for was nice.
Yes, and you know what? I think time dilutes a lot of pain. And life's too short. Just let's move on. It was always good. The fan support that we had around here was terrific. You get all the way through the course of the year, and then it just seems to climax at playoff time, and it's nuts. They're passionate. They know about the game. It's not like they're chatting from left field. They know what's going on. They're well educated and well versed in hockey, and it's a terrific place to play. It really is.
Leading up to that moment when you were going to come out for the Winter Classic, was there in your mind where you're thinking, I wonder how people are going to react? I mean, or
no,
did you even
not
care?
really. I just I just get out and
Did you ever think that the city didn't support you? I was thinking of this last night when I was driving to meet you guys for dinner, and the one thing I really truly believe about this city and the way they feel about the athletes that play, in whatever sport, is that we always want you to succeed. And so, was there ever a point in your career that you ever thought that the city as a whole didn't? Because we did. I'm telling you, as a fan, we always rooted and cheered and supported for you, even if it didn't sound like that.
Yeah, no one likes to lose the last playoff game of that particular round at any one time.
Right. Sure, yeah.
I mean, so that bitterness, that bad, if you didn't have if you didn't win, really, it was all or nothing around here, because we did have good teams, if we slipped up in the second round, there's a great deal of disappointment, and it starts from guys being disappointed on the club, and obviously everywhere you go around town, it's not.
But do you feel like that? Like, because I mean, I would imagine just because it's on such a large scale that's what you feel like if you're walking into any room, that's the first thought people are going to think of. Well, I don't think that's the way. I really don't think
I assume that you have to develop a protective blister after a while. And you know what? You know the nature of the beast.
If you want to go and play, and this is, I would just, I didn't play in Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
but I would assume that it's a little bit quieter.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So if you don't, different cities for different.
You play with the Rangers. I mean, what's the difference?
Well, they've got Al Pacino's walking down.
Right. I remember the one time Eric's walking his dog. He had this big Great Dane named Bacchus. When you're in Central Park, and we're walking in. Hey, there's Bacchus. There, jogger goes by. Hey, Bacchus. Another guy. Hey, Bacchus. Eric looks at me. He goes, "It's just great. Everyone knows my dog, and no one knows me."
It's pretty quiet around there.
Yeah. There also in the Daily News today is an article about Ryan Howard, and he's been having some issues with his family over money, and he involved a lot of his family members in his work. Okay, he hired them to help out with this and that, and pay them a certain amount of money. He decided at some point to not do that any longer, and now it's gotten really, really ugly.
That's too bad.
And and that can happen to people who are thrown into this profession, who are talented to be there and are at the top of the game, and at a young age, like you were, in your young 20s, or even before that,
teens,
and starting to see this. Is it difficult? I mean, because I know the NFL has a rookie program, and they'll run you through and say, and I think the NBA does as well.
I think all of them do.
Do they? Well, baseball doesn't.
They don't.
Yeah, and that's what they're pointing out, that they probably need
to.
Sure
probably need one. Players Association is writing this down right now.
Right.
Well, the thing about baseball is their players sort of trickle into the league. It's
a different upbringing, because they've played minor ball, they played single A, double A, triple A, probably. They worked their way up, and that's all pro too, right? That's. When you're talking about an 18-year-old coming from whatever the junior team is in whatever part of Canada or anywhere around it, you're 18. You're not 21 or 22. Yeah. Or even coming out of college when you're 22 to go play in the NFL. That's a huge age gap. I mean, think about everything that happened to you between the ages of 18 and 22. Not you.
No, I've forgotten most of
it. But I mean, is it? Were you? Did somebody tell you that be careful with your money on the way up?
My dad. My dad was he was a partner at KPMG. He's a CPA.
Right. That helps.
Business, absolutely. Yeah. And if your dad hasn't got your best interest, who does?
Yeah.
So I was blessed with that.
Yeah, I remember that through all of this. I mean, and listen, you need. It's part of the deal, the nature of anything like this, or having an agent and having people who know what they're doing help you, because I think it's the guys who try to handle it themselves that let it get away from them. You're a lot of times it can be just too much.
It's nice to have some help, and it's hard to find. Trust is
a big issue.
It's a big issue, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm sure that I don't know his particular situation, but I'm sure he's got an agent for doing his deals.
Right.
And this was just probably maybe a side venture that he had going on. I mean, I'm just
have his family members fired.
Well, that's kind of what was going on. His mom was, I think, ran certain parts of his business and so forth.
It's going to be a testy Thanksgiving.
It's over. I mean, like the relationship is over.
It's over.
It's ugly.
His brother was involved too, and
bottom line is, it's just too bad. Yeah,
Oh, sure.
it's sad to hear.
I want to ask you about concussions and your perspective on it. I think that the NFL and the NHL in particular have adjusted their rules and the way that they treat players because of guys like you and Pat LaFontaine and Keith Primo and Junior Seau, and they've sort of learned the lesson of what a concussion can do to a marquee player, to a star player, and protecting those players now has become important to the leagues and to the teams. Did you feel like you weren't protected the way that you should have been? Did you feel pressure to play?
Listen, it was a different era too, right? Crosby went through it just recently, and everything's back, back to normal and great for hockey that he's feeling good again. The '90s were it wasn't looked on in the same fashion that it is today. I think they occurred through the history of time. I think they were talked about in a certain way all the way through, but they did not get the. It didn't get the spotlight that it did until some of the larger names were affected with the situation.
Right.
What you went through, what your brother went through, was awful. And as a fan, I felt bad for you. But I do think that the positive of that is
there is a positive that there was a little bit of light shown on it, and there have been some strides taken, some measures taken to let's be a little bit more careful than maybe we have been in the past. Let's take maybe an extra couple days here. It's not like we're going to hop on Kijiji and go find ourselves a new brain.
Right. Yeah.
Let's be careful, and it's gotten better. There's still a long way to go. There's still a lot of research to be done. It'd be great if the medical community was more collaborative than competitive. That would be terrific. I think it might be safe to say that there's a number of testing or research being done that's being duplicated. So why don't we share the results, whether they're good or bad or indifferent, so that they're not being done again, or maybe these results can lead to further ideas and further positive results that we're all, in essence, looking for.
Yeah, accelerated.
How many concussions did you end up having?
That you knew. I don't know. I can remember. I had my fair share for sure.
Okay, and is it something that you have to get checked out?
No, I feel good. I feel strong.
I wasn't sure if that was you keep an eye on that.
No, I skate a couple times a week. I've been playing tennis, and I feel good. Yeah, I had to do something because I just got tired of the gym.
Yeah.
It's
boring, right?
They're heavy.
Yeah,
they don't talk back. There's nothing good about it right now. So I had to switch it up, and I thought that tennis would be something fun to get into.
Tennis is a great sport, man.
It's a great sport.
Are you any good?
But listen,
I'm all right. I'm not. No, I'm not. I would be like a medium, like a B player. I'm not.
That's pretty good.
Did you ever make a ball explode by hitting it so hard?
I bet you when you're on the court, you're confused for Serena Williams.
Well, Steve, depending on what I'm wearing that day.
You said you skate a couple times a week. You play hockey?
Yeah. We got a nice group on Tuesday nights, and we also skate Thursday mornings. We do. We actually do some drills and.
Well, how competitive do you get with it?
Well, no one likes to
lose.
Jesus, can you imagine?
It's a non-checking
You're playing
league.
in some men's league.
It's not a league, though. It's not a league.
What is it?
It's
like pickup
30
games?
guys that we, depending on the jersey that you're asked to put on for that particular day, you're either on the dark side or you're on the light side.
Do you guys throw your sticks in the middle?
Kind of the same thing, right?
No way.
Yeah, same
That's
kind
awesome.
of thing. It's old school. It's great.
Does Sully play in that league?
Sully does. Sully skates.
Was he at dinner last night?
He was. Sully's a good guy to have a drink with.
Yeah,
Anybody?
Sully's good dude.
Any other NHLers that play in this league?
Yeah,
Okay.
Darcy Tucker's out all the time. Scott McClellan's been out. Shane Corson is popped by. He's not a frequent flyer. Nick Kipros's been out a bunch.
I was talking to your friend Jeff last night, and he was just going through all of the famous hockey players that grew up in and around your area.
Yeah,
and it was just astounding that many people grew up in such a small area, 100,000 citizens
out
or
in
whatever.
Whitby. Yeah. No, there's a strong presence.
Is it
the climate, the genetics?
Is it the water?
Yeah.
Is it just
I think it's
the
ice
coaching
time
and the
availability.
leagues?
Time availability
And coaching, right?
Yeah.
Let's not kid ourselves. If you don't have good coaches, I don't care how much time you're on the ice or you're at the football field or the batting cage. If you're not getting coaching,
you gotta have direction.
You gotta have direction, and hats off to everyone that volunteers their time and and goes and makes a difference in kids' lives. That's a big statement.
You have a 5-month-old son.
I do. Look at my eyes.
Yeah, I know. And down the road, if he wants to play hockey, or would you, step up and maybe be a coach of a kids team and stuff?
Well, we'll cross it when it comes. Whatever he wants to do, I think he'd be open to it.
Yeah.
And not just one thing. You hear about kids playing hockey 24 or 12 months a year, and that's not the way we. That's too much.
Yeah,
let's do something different.
I was talking to Brian Boucher, who was here not that long ago, and he coaches his son's team.
That's good.
And he said, but there are some people that do these. A lot of people that put their kids in, and they have stars in their eyes, and that's cool and everything. But the kids' time is taken up so much, and they get on these travel teams and all this stuff.
And it's early in the morning too, by the way.
It's a bit much, and the percentage of people who play the game and end up playing professionally is so minuscule.
That's it. Do the math.
Yeah.
Let's be a well-rounded person.
Yeah.
You got to be a hands-off dad like Tiger Woods' father. Wow. Golf if you want. If you want golf, play it.
Erica, can you share the story that you told me last night about Dave Brown and the kangaroo court? Is that something that's
Well, you're asking about discipline and there's fines within the team and what happened. And Brownie used to be the judge of kangaroo court. So if a player did something that was a bit offside, he had to go to court in our dressing room. Brownie would put the mop on his over top of his head, and he'd run court. And the defendant was allowed to pick a couple of guys to act as his attorneys and his representation, and he went in to plead his case. And they were some funny, some funny times.
And what was his gavel?
Yeah, he had a small stick that he just would give it a good whack, and that was his. We're in session, and that would be it.
What were some of the
unbelievable?
What were some of the offenses?
Well, we can't get to that. We're going to talk about. We might have you throw the money at the team fund, and it's
okay.
Funny.
Yeah, guys.
So the sentences were usually monetary in nature, right? You're penalized by
there's a few other things earlier on in terms of carrying bags, things like that.
Okay.
But mostly it was monetarily based, so that you could have another fun time and go back to court.
It all goes. This is the way court should work. Yeah.
I want to go to this phone call. We normally don't pop on phone calls for guests that are here in the studio, but it seems really nice. Jill and Eric has helped out with charities over the years, and I'm going to go to Jill here real quick. I want to make a comment. Hi, Jill. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Jill?
Nothing. I love your show. I just wanted to say hi, and I wanted to say hello to Eric. You probably don't remember me, but you came to see my son many, many years ago at St. Christopher's for his Make-A-Wish.
Oh, okay.
And he was just absolutely thrilled. He's a big Flyers fan. He was only 6 at the time, and unfortunately he did pass away shortly after you did come to visit him. But I just wanted to say thank you, because at the time I was, emotional, and I just wanted to let you know how much I really, really appreciate it. You taking the time.
My pleasure.
To come
my pleasure.
You gave him a stick, and and he was just so thrilled with it, and I just wanted to let you know that it was very, very much appreciated.
All right. Well, thank you, Jill. I mean, that's got to be one of the most satisfying things is people who are really huge fans, and you get a chance to give them a moment, like that. It's got to be satisfying.
It's special, and you're driving there, you're driving home, you're thinking, you're reflecting about it. It's deep.
My mother was who passed away years ago, but she would always say, "There, but for the grace of God." And it's always you always count your blessings, and especially now you're having your own family.
You do. You look at it a little different.
Puts it in perspective.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you staying for a couple days, or you got to get out of here?
Yeah, no, we're gonna head home tomorrow.
Okay,
but we certainly have the full day today, and
awesome.
One quick question: who was your favorite coach in the Flyers?
Roger Nielsen.
Roger Nielsen.
How come?
Roger Nielsen looked at the 23 or 24 man rosters. Everybody was a little bit different. He didn't group a whole lot. He would have a rapport with players and knew how they ticked. as opposed to saying, well, these guys work great with negative reinforcement. These guys, we have to do something else. He would really be specific in how he went about it. He was a really cool.
He wore the crazy ties too, right?
Oh, he was a nut bar. We had. I remember we're in video. And that was his thing too. Is early on, he was the first guy to do sports video, to watch.
Wow. Is that right?
Yeah, he was a real innovative person, and went to this clip of all these Canadian geese flying overhead, and then he went into he showed one that would drop. Well, he said that he put that on there because we found it very confusing. But he said that Canadian geese, one will come down and pick up the other one and then they'll catch on to the flock again, as if to say everyone picks up for the next guy.
Wow.
Yeah, and he did it through geese. That was
yes.
that was quite something.
Goose.
Yeah, but you remembered it.
It stuck.
Yeah.
Right? It stuck.
He passed away, right?
He did. Yes, unfortunately.
Wow.
He was attacked by a goose, actually. It was very weird.
Hey, somebody wants us to have you say, so we have it on record. I can't believe Casey Boy is calling my phone.
I can't believe Casey Boy is calling my phone.
There it is. It's done.
Beautiful.
Eric, great to have you back in town.
Congratulations
on getting in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Eric Lindros, ladies and gents.